So let's keep moving on here. We'll move past the spur track here, and we've got some more stuff coming up right here. I'm guessing at some point this spot was blown apart here because it looks like it's kind of a mess, and maybe there was a washout or something. So what's happening here? Well, somewhere in this area right here on the north side of the track, I have a marker here right there. So when I got those old maps from Library and Archives Canada, it shows you the turning Y, and then it also shows you that spur track, and then it shows you that there was a coal chute or a coal tower basically right across from the Y. And you know, I'm kind of looking at this thing and I'm going, yeah, okay. And then as I start sort of trying to, you know, locate some stuff, things aren't making sense, because I'm looking at this Y and I'm going, this doesn't jive, right? Like that spur track, and the problem is that the Y is shown on the map, and I'm going, something is not right here. Well, very interesting development. So around Christmas time, and I really have to thank Ronnie for this, he put me on to the fact that there actually is, and for years I was, you know, wished we had this, and turns out it actually exists. So there is LiDAR coverage of this area. And so if you're not familiar with LiDAR, LiDAR stands for light detection and ranging. So basically what it is it is a laser view of the ground. And so essentially when they image the ground, the laser imaging basically penetrates through the vegetation and shows you what the ground looks like underneath. And so you can see any man-made features extremely well. Well, I take a look at the LiDAR image and I know exactly what the problem is that there were two Ys. There was the original Y here that shows up on the 1914, 1915 maps, and then there's another one that they put in over there further to the west that's on the map. So I'm like, okay, now there's a lot, this makes a lot more sense now, because now I understand what the heck is going on. So the original turning Y that was here was located right here. It started here and ran off. It wasn't particularly big. The latter one is much bigger. It was very narrow, and so basically it ran off. You can see it's just essentially a huge swampy area in here. So it ran off into this direction and then came back down. Now, as I mentioned, the other thing, so maybe what I'll do is I'll show you that LiDAR imagery, and you can, it's not very clear, but you can still make out where that Y is. All right, so now that I knew exactly where the Y is, I knew that there was a there was a coal facility here. And so as we were coming to the east this morning, I made a point of stopping and going to take a look and see if I could find anything. And as you're going to see, I was rather surprised at what I saw. So again, I came through here last summer. Okay, so I came through here in early July. Again, this is the reason, one of the reasons why we do these hikes in the spring and the fall when their leaves are down, because I drove through here and totally did not see the concrete building that is right in through there. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump in there and we're going to go take a look at this, and I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of what I think is going on here. So this essentially is the only trace of anything that I found in this area. And again, I don't know exactly what the purpose of this, if it was connected to the coal facilities or what was going on. So, one thing you'll notice is that it is a different time of the year. We originally filmed the video in May of 2025. Now it is October. And the reason why we're back here is because we're doing some work with the water tank. But there's some new information that we have about this structure, and we have a lot more of an understanding of what it is, when it was built. And so I wanted to make sure we redid that. So again, you can see it is a very unusual structure. It is made entirely out of concrete. I'll walk you around, and then I will talk to you a little bit about what it is and what its purpose was, and again, when it was built. You can see that this corner here is badly deteriorated where the chimney is. You can see some of the reinforcing steel sticking out. You can see it's all just sort of coming apart here on this corner. You can see this tree has come down here. I'm sure that has caused some damage. See if we can get around here. You can see the age, and again, we have a much better idea of when this was built now than when we were here in May. You can see there's a window here. The glass is all shattered. Again, you can see the damage on the roof. You can see all the reinforcing steel that's sticking out. It's not easy to get around here. So on the back side, you can see there's yet another window, and you can see that there's bolts and openings, and you can see that there's an opening here. You can see that is a bucket. That looks like one of the buckets that the spikes or bolts came in. So you can see this side, which would be the north side of the structure. You can see another shattered window here. You can see there's a couple holes here. We'll see those on the inside here. You can see this corner has come off right here. This side of the roof is not bad, but this side is just in really, really bad shape. All right, so I'm going to take you inside momentarily, but the reason why we came back is because, again, we know a lot more about what this structure is and what its purpose was. So this structure dates back to the Canadian government railway days. It was built sometime probably between 1915 and 1918, and the reason why we know that is there is an identical structure like this at Quorn Station. So Quorn Station, so Raith, originally Dexter, is basically in between. Well, Horn is the H station. This should have been an I station. Quorn is the Q station, so it's 65 miles to the west. And there's an identical station, identical building at Quorn. And again, we know when that building was built because we know that this building is associated with the coal facilities. The one at Quorn, the coal was moved from Oscar to Quorn sometime between 1915 and 1918. So this is likely when this building dates to. Again, we know that it's associated with the coal. There was, right, because we know we have this information about the station at Quorn. On the backside of this structure, there would have been a coal tower right back here. Now, there was one here in 1914 when we saw that map. So again, we don't know what was done exactly, what was here, what was revised, but again, we know that this building was built so that there was originally a coaling tower here. There's something here. There's a bit of a mound, and then there's something over here. Again, it's very difficult to kind of, there's so much deadfall and everything like that. Maybe we'll poke over there after. So again, we know the age, we know the purpose of this structure. And again, there's an identical one at Quorn. So what I'll do is I will put a link in the description, and you can go and take a look at the video of the one at Quorn. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take you inside the structure. All right, let's go inside. I'm going to use my phone for this because the low light's a little bit better on the phone. So you can see, again, it looks like a gigantic bunker. Over here in the corner, you can see basically the chimney coming down. Now, the one at Quorn has what appears to be a clean out down here. And again, if you check out that video of the one at Quorn, you will see that. The one at Quorn does not have these holes here, and you can see it looks like there's been some work done. So maybe there was something that was done to this afterwards, right? It was patched up. So maybe they drilled these holes and something came apart here, and then they patched it up. It looks like a pretty crude patch job. So you can see the inside here, it's all black. And again, that is what you see in the one in Quorn. The arrangements of these things in here are a little bit different. There's something in the corner in the one in Quorn. This one has this big mound right here. And you can see that there's, looks like attachment points here. And then you can see these couple blocks here. The one at Quorn has, because I literally was just there a couple of days ago, the hole is smaller, but really there's this hole right around here as well. These blocks are not here on the one at Quorn. So again, this was basically a machinery house to essentially power the machinery that would have lifted the coal up to the top of the coal tower or the coal chute. You can see that there's it looks like a vent or something on the top there. The one at Quorn has a vent in a different spot. So, but again, the actual structure itself looks identical, right? The size, the slope of the roof, the opening of the door. You can see there's another little opening there. You can see all of the graffiti and things like that people have put on here. So again, very interesting structure, very old structure. I'm guessing these two structures, the one here and the one at Quorn, were not torn down simply because they were just too difficult to demolish, just being sort of solid concrete. And again, this one is starting to show its age a little bit. It's starting to come apart. The one at Quorn seems to be a little bit better. It's a big crack running across there. Right, so this one, we'll see how much longer this one lasts. It looks like it's seen better days. Okay, so let's wrap things up here. We're gonna just go take a peek and see if we see anything associated with the coal tower. Okay, so we're just sort of behind the structure, the coal structure, the machinery house there, and so we're kind of just to the west. You can see that there's a big chunk of concrete here. It's very difficult to see anything or even get around here because there is so much fallen trees and things like that here. It does look like there's a big hump here. So this could have been the approach track here where the locomotives would have come in to fill up with coal. You can see there's more chunks of concrete here. So there's 3 chunks of concrete. And again, there's the back end of the structure there. And we did previously see this here. And it looks like some rotten wood under here. So again, there would have been something, the tower would have been right here, and the locomotive would have pulled in right behind it. Okay, so let's motor on here. There's something I'm going to show you up here that I found extremely perplexing. Hold on, let's see here. So somewhere in this area here would have been the western leg of the original Y. Somewhere here. I mean, again, it was here 110 years ago. We don't know when it was moved. We don't know when that Y was moved. But it was moved. Okay, this is the spot. So what we're gonna do is maybe we'll let Luna out, because she will go absolutely crazy if I go in there and she's not with me. All right, come on. So drive by this morning and I'm like, what the heck is this? So obviously somebody's cut a trail in here, which is not the confusing part. It's what the heck is in here. So I don't know if anybody's watching this that maybe worked at Raith. I have no idea what this is. You can see there's massive timbers. You can see that there looks like there's spikes or something in there. Like, these are the types of timbers that you would see when they build bridges, right? So again, I have not the foggiest idea where these things are from. Like, what are these? Right? Like, you can see there's a couple of massive beams that have all been sort of bolted together. Reeks of creosote. Everybody loves how much I love creosote. Smells good, right? And so you can see that there's more here. There's big chunks of it. Is that from the I don't know. Would they use these on the level crossing up there? They usually wouldn't use something this big, right? Again, I mean, I don't know. You can see that there's more here. And then if we go over here, there's a whole pile of them over here, right? So I am just at a loss to try to explain what all of this is. Oh, what a stink. I hate creosote. Right, so you could just, again, they're just massive timbers. Here you can see the ditching on the other side. Ooh. I think this would have been that second track here beside the siding. The dog's getting some water. That water looks disgusting. It's I think there's lots of tannins and stuff in it. It's really like black. So again, just absolutely no idea what this all is, why this was put here. Big piece of metal here. Don't know what that is. So again, anybody watching worked in Raith, please let me know if you know anything about this, because no idea. All right, so we'll get ourselves back onto the bike here, and we'll what time is it? Oh, I can't see on my watch. It's noon our time. All right, and we'll continue on. We don't have that much further to go before we finish the hike.